So I was on a walk today, and you walk on one side of the street, and I just was starting to think about my side of the street versus everybody else's side of the street. So the title of my Facebook Live today is Opening Your Heart but Not Letting Your Brains Fall Out. Following your heart but using your brains to guide you and put you on the path that is not only analytical of using your brain, but also intuitive in your heart and stuff like that. So on my walk, when I was on my path, on my side of the street, and we have a sidewalk on my side, and on the other side, there's also a sidewalk. And it made me kind of realize in life how I'm on my side of the street, and you have your job and your relationships and everything else, which is on the other side of the street. You are only responsible for your side of the street. There are times in relationships where you are really trying to get the other person to change, and maybe circumstances in a job that you're trying to get to change, to work in your favor, to follow your passions and your dreams. But ultimately, you really have to stay on your side of the street. You can meet in the middle, but you have to stay on your side of the street. You can't go to the other side of the street and tell someone how to live their life. So life is all about taking care of your side of the street. So I have a couple things that I want to, well, actually lots of things that I want to talk to you about today, and they're just kind of sneak peeks of what I'm going to be doing in my blog posts. So if you like what I'm talking about today, and you like the little bit of encouragement that I'm giving you, then you'll want to follow along on my blog. And of course, they're posted on Facebook when I do them. So you can read along a little bit more in depth about maybe why I may struggle with things like this, or where my path has brought me on these things. Lots of things like that. So many of us, hi Kelly, so many of us are just living life and looking for that aha moment. The moment where you are like, this is my story, and I can write my book. Not maybe literally sometimes, but this is my story. And so many times you are actively progressing for that aha moment that you are forgetting that you can make your aha moment right now. So how do you do that? Your aha moment right now, it can come right now. It doesn't have to come in a month. It doesn't have to come in a year. It doesn't have to come in 5 years. Your aha moment will start right now when you decide to stop fixing things, stop fixing yourself, and you start loving yourself. At that point in time, your life is going to change dramatically. Now, let me tell you, I'm still in the process of this. I have lots of maybe little aha moments throughout my life. And I may have a moment where I'm like, I totally get this. This totally makes sense. And then next week I stumble and I fall and I go back to fixing in myself, the things that I think are not, that are broken. But you know what? You're not broken. You can have an aha moment on your side of the street. You're not going to dictate when someone else's aha moment is on their side of the street. So you can have your aha moment today, and that is what I want from you guys. So you have to understand that in order to do that, you have to put yourself on the path of surrounding yourself with the motivation that you need. It can be through diet and exercise, through journaling, through any type of things that you read. All of those things put you in a path to put you on a mindset to have the aha moment. So even though those things may be fixing things inside of you, you're not broken, okay? You love yourself. You have to love yourself, okay? Here's the other thing, is that every person that you meet along the way in your life, they are a teacher. They are a teacher to teach you where you should be, teach you how to love, teach you how to be humble, teach you grace, teach you how to live fully. All of these people that you meet in your life are going to teach you that. So you also have to understand that relationships and jobs and all of that stuff can have an expiration date. So let me give it to you like this as an example, is that think about when you go buy yogurt at the store. It has an expiration date. So when you buy it, it is delicious. It brings you joy and happiness. Yeah, yogurt can bring you joy and happiness because it's fueling your body. But just go along with this analogy. Yogurt is delicious when it's good, okay? But it will have an expiration date. And there will be a time when it doesn't matter if you leave that yogurt in the refrigerator and you put it in a fancy container and you keep moving it around trying to do what you need to do to make it good for you, it's not going to happen because it's got an expiration date. So relationships and jobs have the same thing. Jobs can change, and sometimes it's completely out of the blue and completely sudden, and you have to understand that it may be an expiration date. So also understand that just because everything has an expiration date, or just because it doesn't feel right, doesn't mean it's time to move. So us as human beings, we enjoy new stimulus. We enjoy being excited about things. We enjoy newness of things. So understand that when you come upon new things, that doesn't always mean that the old things are ready to expire. So just because something is boring or unchallenging or too challenging doesn't necessarily mean that there's an expiration date. So every job or relationship requires a sense of reinvention or dedication. So be careful when you are labeling a relationship and understanding if it's something that is trying to teach you or if it is truly come with an expiration date. As you go through life, your life cycle when you're in school, you go from grade to grade to grade. And the same thing kind of happens with relationships in life, is that, your friend, mostly friends, when people get married, that tends to be, I know that divorce is high, and relationships, love relationships can change in so many ways. But the relationships that tend to change more frequently are friendships. And so those tend to have a little bit quicker expiration dates. So here's some things to think. Don't linger when you know the situation is complete. And I'm looking down a little bit because I have a lot of notes that I took. So when you truly believe that the expiration date for a relationship or a job has come, and it's not something that you just need to continue working for to understand what that teacher is trying to show you, don't linger in it, because it's only going to cause you pain and it's only going to cause you suffering. So how do you know if it's time? How do you know if it's the expiration date for that job or that relationship? So when you know that you've cleaned up your side of the street, okay? When you know that you have taken 100% responsibility for your 50%, every relationship and every job and everything, you have 100% of what you're giving. In relationships, I say it's 50% because there's two. It takes 100% from both people. So when you know that you have cleaned up your side of the street and you have committed 100% to your 50%, and also when your values and beliefs don't align anymore. So those are things along the way that make it clearer to you that sometimes there are things that have an expiration date. Oh, Melissa, I'm so glad you're here. I love you. So a little bit of encouragement right now. Like I said, all of this stuff is going to be talked about in a lot more detail on some of my blog posts, but I want to encourage you guys to go for your dreams. Stay on your side of the street and work what you need to work on, not anybody else, because you can't fix anybody else. You can't worry about forcing your side on someone else when they disagree with you. None of that. So work on your side of the street. Understand that things have an expiration date, just like yogurt, and go after your dreams. And how you do that is if you are honest with yourself. So where you are right now is where you're supposed to be, and that is growing you every step of the way to where you are supposed to be in the future. And it may be a freaking struggle right now, It may be hard, and you may wonder why. Why am I put on this path right now? Why am I struggling with this difficult person right now? Why is this happening to me? But you have to understand that it is leading you to a future self. Remember, everyone that you come in contact with you is a teacher. Hi, Tish. Everyone that you come in contact with is a teacher. So understand that where you are right now is leading you to a better self. Melissa, life is hell sometimes. I totally get it. I'm going to be honest, my last probably mostly 2 years, but probably the last 5 years have been complete hell on me in a lot of different areas of my life. And I won't go into a lot of detail on that in this right now. I do share openly about a lot of things. But I'm not going to do that right here, right now. But just know I understand life is hell. And that's why I try to look inside and encourage you to understand that, you know what, you're not alone. Melissa, I am there for you. I know that you're my cousin, and we don't live very, very close together, but I'm there for you always. I'm a phone call away or a message away, anything. So how do you go after your dreams? Know when it's time to move on, and know that it's a risk. So here's the two things. Fear and excitement can look the same, okay? You can be really fearful, but it can also equate to excitement. So try to understand and differentiate what those two things are. Your mind doesn't like uncertainty. And so if there is anything that is threatening the security of your beliefs, or even your mental, your emotional, your financial, anything like that, anything that threatens you is going to cause a lot of fear. But you can also have fear when you have excitement. Learn to differentiate with that, because when you have excitement, even though there may be stuff that's going to threaten change, you have to go for it. You have to go for your heart. So that's why when I said the title of this live video was Opening Your Heart, but Don't Let Your Brains Fall Out. So follow your heart, but don't let your brains fall out. You still got a brain in there to help guide you. Use the analytical side that you have, but also know that that heart is in there because it guides you. It guides you in so many ways, and you have to lean into that. So let go of the limiting beliefs that you are not good enough. Okay, let go of the limiting beliefs that, so if I were to ask you, think about this. If I were to ask you, do you believe that you are able to be happy in your life? What would you answer? Do you believe it? Okay, and then I'm going to follow that up and say, do you believe you are capable of achieving that? Okay, those are two different things. Everyone can believe that they deserve happiness, but do you truly believe that you are capable of achieving that happiness? Okay, I want you to think about the difference. There are a lot of people, and I am going to say me included. I have been, whether it was me learning from other people or me having the limiting beliefs in myself and having to grow through that, but I always believed that happiness was careless and frivolous and selfish, okay? So that could be a lot of different ways. And when I say frivolous, I mean, some people can spend money thinking that that's going to bring them happiness. Mostly to me, I've always equated happiness to being selfish. It's not, guys. It is not selfish, okay? It is our birthright to be happy. And if you are not happy, then you need to do some changing. You need to do some inner soul searching, and you need to do some changing to figure out what it is that you truly believe. And you know how you do that? You work on your side of the street, and you get your aha moments by stop fixing you and start loving you, okay? That's as simple as that. And I know that I can go through a process of teaching you guys and myself at the same time, because I'm still learning. I am not an expert in anything that I tell you guys or that I try to share with you guys. Let me just say that. I have no degree in anything that I teach you. It's life experiences, and it's life experiences that I still deal with on a daily basis. So Get rid of those limiting beliefs, okay? You are capable of happiness every day. It doesn't mean that you're not going to have bad days. You're going to have days where you just are like, this world sucks, and I'm just going to pull a cover over my head, and I'm going to drink an entire bottle of wine. You know what? That's okay. As long as tomorrow you get up and you love yourself, even when you struggle, even when you struggle, even when you fail, even when you make mistakes, you still love yourself. Okay, because those aha moments are going to keep coming every day when you know that you're living with your heart, listening to your head, but you're living with your heart and believing that you are capable of having happiness in this life. Have those aha moments, all right? Stop fixing yourself and start loving yourself. So if you liked what I shared with you and you really want to know more in depth about it and just kind of how you can do it or understand my journey, check my blog out. I will have some articles posted. This will be split up into about 3 different articles. I'll have some articles posted for you guys. Love on yourself, and then it's going to be okay, and you're going to let other people love on you, and enjoy every birthday that you have, enjoy every day that you have, and understand that you are capable of happiness. You work towards it. You work on your side of the street. You keep your side of the street clean. You keep your side of the street healthy, and make sure that you're giving 100% in the 50% that you have in every relationship, and everything else is going to come your way, and happiness is going to exude out of you, and you're going to have many aha moments, and it's going to be life is amazing.